Ladies and gents, hey, hi, how are you? Hope you're doing alright, and welcome back to the channel. This is Ike3012, and today we're here to talk about Escape from Tarkov from a noob's perspective. Now, for those of you who don't know, Escape from Tarkov is a battle royale, PvE, PvP, open world-ish, objective, task-based game. That's probably the mouthful that's going to actually describe it, because that's the easiest way too. The game has battle royale functionality where you are in an open world, playing against other players, but there's a PvE element to it as well, because there's AI as well. So yeah, I mean, we'll get into the mechanics of the game, but this is my first impressions. We've had the game now for about a week, and by we I mean me and Lord Prasad, as well as Chili Sauce Gaming. Yeah, we thought we'd pick it up over the holidays and see what the game is about. Now, personally, I'm not new to the game because I have been following the game for about a year and a half. However, never played it until a couple of days ago. And it is one of the most infuriating, anxiety-pushing, yet satisfying games I have played till date. I've followed multiple YouTubers like Deadly Slav and Pastilli, and they make the game look so easy because the amount of knowledge that's basically been hardwired into them, because they've been in the game for so long. But as a new player, this game, there's no tutorial, there's no information, there are no tool. I mean, there are some tooltips, but there's basically no hand holding. You are thrown into the deep end and you got to figure out your own stuff. There is some direction about tasks. There is some direction. It tells you what you need to do, what you need to achieve. But however, the core mechanics of the game is not explained. And that, as a new player, is important. So YouTube is your best friend, or Reddit, or Discord, or Twitch even. Because as a new player, you can kind of tough it out yourself. But when you start the game, you have some basic gear, you've picked your character, and that's it. You do not know what you're going to be doing, except going into a map and trying to into a raid and that's what they're called, and trying to figure out how to survive and escape, so to speak. So I guess the name is kind of apt for it. Now, the game has got multiple maps. Each map's got different layouts. There's a wooded layout. There's a resort-based area. So there's like a beachfront and stuff like that. There is a mall. There is a factory. There are multiple maps, and all the maps play very differently. The game has got weather effects. The game has got different levels of AI depending on what you're actually fighting or playing against. This is one of the most realistic, if not the most realistic game currently in the game from a shooter's perspective. The physics, the mechanics, while still in a beta stage, and this game does have its bugs. It's had major issues in the past, but it has gotten to a stage where it's extremely polished, especially for a new player to get in there and not have to deal with massive glitches. I mean, we have the occasional server disconnecting or whatever, but at the end of it, the game is quite good. So hats off to Battlestate Games, because this game looks incredible. Now, as the game, you can play as a solo player or with a group. The group is kind of subjective because different maps have different max group sizes. However, with Lord and Chili Sauce, it's just the three of us. So when we do play in groups, we pretty much are in the minimum. We fall way below the maximum for most maps, so we're pretty much okay. However, if you are a solo player, that's fine too, because you can tough it out, figure stuff out yourself. It's extremely terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, even as a group, it's extremely terrifying. But that's the beauty of this game. The fact that you're always on your toes, where you can get into a game, drop 20 kills, and that just at the exit, you can get one tap and die. So you have to always be on your toes, and that's how this game has actually been designed and positioned. So, some important stuff about the game, and this is what the game does really well: sound. Sound in this game is imperative for survival. Everything from a broken branch being stepped on, to leaves, to bushes being fluttered, footsteps, are they above you, are they below you, are they on metal, are they on wood, are they on grass? All of that is information that you actually as a player learn to comprehend. So you can be standing in a room and hear footsteps above you, but the footsteps are on metal. So as you learn the maps, you understand where potential players could be. So after giving this game a couple of days, I understand how difficult it is and how these YouTubers and streamers, how they make the game look so easy, but there's so much information that they're processing. So this game and sound is phenomenal. This game also teaches you positioning and how that's important. Now, most first-person shooters, and we're traditionally Call of Duty and Battlefield and Counter-Strike players, it's kind of like you run in and go balls deep and just shoot stuff. And if you die, you die. There's nothing that's lost. There is no feeling of loss. But this game changes that. This game, you learn to pay attention, if you're in a squad, where your squad is, because there are no name tags. There's nothing indicating that that is your friend. So if you venture off too far from each other and you don't know where each other are going, there's a very good chance you could end up shooting your friend. I've almost done that. I've literally called out to Chili Sauce and to Lord that, hey, there are two players right behind over here. I've got shots. And they're like, where? And I was just like, wait, is that you? And they're like, oh shit, yeah, that's us. So, I mean, in theory, if those were the plays, I'd already be dead before I even finished a statement. But that's how this game works. You understand positioning from the standpoint of, hey, there's an enemy in front of me. Do you just go straight at them, or do you take a pause, scout the area? Maybe it's better for you to flank. Maybe you'll have better positioning if you move to a different angle. Get a shot there, have better visibility. All of that plays a very big factor into this game, and that's brilliant about it. You learn that as a player. Controls. Oh my god, controls. Like WASD, I mean, it's there in the game, it helps you move. But this game has got so much more. It's not just a reload or a crouch or a prone or a lean. There are types of crouching, there are types of leans. There is checking to see if a magazine is not just reloaded, but what's the ammo in it? What type of fire type are you on? Are you on burst? Are you on full auto? Are you on single fire? Depending on your gun, your magazine. All of that plays a very big part. How do you heal? How do you maneuver from one point to another without making sound? So speed, all of that is on control. So there is so much to learn. And as a new player, that's the first thing you need to do. You need to understand and get used to the various controls in the game. Now, gear, inventory. We can basically do an entire video about that, but just to summarize it, you are going to be playing Tetris with your gear, trying to min-max and optimize where what goes in your stash to make sure you can have as much gear as possible. Now, because, I mean, that's the point, I'll get to it. And at the same time, knowing where stuff is to make it accessible to you. And while we're talking about gear, you're going to lose stuff. Unlike most shooters where you can die, respawn, have a gun, put mags in, shoot, that's fine. But this game, no. You die in a raid, you lose everything. Yeah, there is an insurance element to it. So like I said, we could get into detail about it. But the general rule is if you die in raid, you've lost everything. Whatever you've looted, whatever you have on you. So that's something which is, I mean, it's terrifying as a player, but at the same time, it's so rewarding when you actually extract, when you actually exfil the map that you're in, getting a couple of tasks and objectives done. It is awesome. It's an awesome feeling. Now, we've been talking about, I've been ranting on for a bit, but general impressions about this game. I'm actually enjoying this game. I know Lord has his reservations and so does Chili Sauce, but as a new player, I say play this game for a week. Give it a fair shot. Because going in not knowing how things work and then dying or losing, I mean, that'll dissuade most people. But give it its fair shot. Learn the mechanics, learn the controls, learn how it works. Because honestly, this, I mean, you could very well still hate it, but this game has got something that no other game has got. It's got insane realism. It's extremely satisfying. Even when you die. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a game. But you learn so much. You understand how mechanics work. So there's so much to take away from this game. So personally, I really enjoy this game. And I have a feeling that Lord and Chili Sauce are coming around too. I may be going out on a whim saying that, but I mean, that's the impression I've gotten. As a new player, what I've realized is just get used to dying. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be dying a lot more than you are surviving, but that's okay. Unless like you're this god tier player with like aimbot reflexes and aim, you're gonna be dying a lot, but that's okay because this is a loot based game. That's where the actual fun is. So when you get into a raid, you loot some stuff, you exfil, amazing, you got it. But when you die, you lose your stuff, and that's still okay because that's the whole point. There's no point in having awesome gear and it's sitting in your stash and looking pretty. And then the wipe comes in, all your gear is deleted, and you go back to zero. That's not how this game is meant to be played. So, first impressions with a week into this game. I mean, if you have the means, they're on sale right now. They've got a 25% off till the end of the year. And if you've got the means, give this game a shot. Disclaimer, there is no refund policy. But if you like what you see, if you enjoy the complexity of a game, rather than just going in like, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's also fine because there are a lot of people who are casual players, and that's okay. But I enjoy this. I know to an extent even Laura enjoys this. So give it a fair shot, give it a go, and yeah, let me know in the comments what do you think, because this game is something else altogether. I will not sugarcoat it. Yeah, that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you're interested. I mean, I personally would love to do more videos on this, but obviously, I mean, if I get more than 10 views on the video, then great, I'll do another video on it because there's so much of complexity when it comes to ammo types. You know, I mean, that's itself is like a 1 hour video potentially, because it's not just a regular shooter. You put bullets in a mag and you put it in a gun and you shoot. Depending on the armor, depending on the distance, bullets behave differently. They fragment differently. They have got different penetration, you know? So that plays a part as to whether I'm going to be fighting a lot of players or fighting the AI, because the AI may or may not be as armored up as players are. So bullets itself, that's such a small detail, but it's so important in the game. In this game, bullets trump weapons. If you have a crappy ass gun but you've got decent aim and good bullets, you can drop a heavily geared player in 1 or 2 bullets. It's possible. So this game it is extremely complex. I'd love to do more videos on it. So like I said, let me know how you think. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. I will see you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.